Excuse me.
Oh. Across 685 from AT.
I'm actually live.
Oh.
All right, excellent. And now for Twitch. Excellent. Okay. All right. Hello and welcome. This is Lucy the Bold. Okay. So since I have multitude of different characters that have different capabilities and stuff, I've had a couple people ask me about taking a look at some of the different building projects I've done. So I decided I would start with this character. Excuse me. Anyways, this is my archer. She's probably, well, all of my characters are my favorite characters. I don't really have one that I would say is more so than another character. She's also full of stuff. Okay. Um, so, oh yeah, I still gotta make her backpack. And let's see here. Yep. Okay. All right. So, anyways, what I wanted to do is, after I get my backpack made, and get that outfitted, is I'll show you the builds and their builds. Okay, so now I can get rid of that backpack. Alright, so this is this character's main home. Looks like it's nighttime outside, so I'm just going to grab one of my hirelings' beds and sleep. I don't remember what the daytime nighttime cycle is on this world. Apparently I don't have everything that I need for comfort level in this home because it's only level 93. Let me see. Let me go back to my main menu on this character and see what the daytime nighttime cycle setting is currently. Daytime, oh shoot, daytime's 1 minute. Okay, so we'll turn that off. Done. Play. So most of my characters have a startup home in enshrouded, right where you're supposed to have your cinder vault placed at. Okay, so this is my main crafting area, and then I've been playing around with a few things with this character as far as like the pumpkin and the bathtub, and I'm going to have to fix that because that pumpkin actually was in the bathtub, not on top of the bathtub. All right. let's do this and rotate its head up just a little bit. So it's kind of like, sitting in the bath. If you can imagine bath water, it's sitting there and, now it's like, hey, what are you doing? type of thing. Anyhow, we'll go upstairs here. So this is the first floor. All right. Got all my pets and my cats and stuff here. And then my kitchen area. This was my first attempt at doing under the countertop lighting, which I ended up on some of my other projects putting it up behind the chest. So, and then, building the countertop and stuff with some of the dishes, which are spatially off now. So I'll have to fix that on this world. And then I have my little sitting area over here. Couple of storage chests. This way, when I have my friends like Thud on or Zygalurtle on, then they can store things in the chest as they want. Of course, this is Crowley. And you already seen the Bard over here. Okay, the Alchemist. And then we have the Huntress here. Alright, and then if we go upstairs, of course Mi-Yin is down here. She's visiting. Her place is upstairs. So we have the master bedroom. And then this house is designed so it's an overlook onto the main floor. And then here's the bathroom. And then initially when I first had to go out and collect all the survivors, I had all of their beds in here. So, this place was jam-packed full. Alright, then a little sitting area up here. I'm going to go upstairs here. Little open balcony. Okay, with the dragon brazier. And then in here is like Pebbles' private study. And then also where I keep all of my collectibles and all of the different outfits. So this has been a work in progress. This is one of the problems when you have multiple characters. You never quite complete everything. Alright, out in front here of the house. Okay, this is what I call my front of my home. And then we have this walkway. We go down here. I have a pier in, and then I made a pond. And then this guy is fishing. And then of course he's got a basket there where he can put his fish into. Alright, over here, of course, is the barn. And made little doors for everybody so they can go in and out. And then initially, when I did this, I had the other farmer used to live up here. But I ended up moving him. And over here, I have an extended garden system going up. So Goes all the way over to here. This is the one character that I haven't played with very much recently. And then because of the fact that there was going to be roaming patrols at one point, I decided to wall in my place. So that's this person's main home. Let's see here. I don't have one. Oh, yeah. We'll go over here. So the Blackmire Forest that we're going to, all I have is this up here. And I had flown from up there on top of those mountains over to here. And I set this up because my intention was to do a video on the fact that when I came over here initially, there was wild boars that had spawned up here on these branches because of how big they are. And then I also had wanted to, at some point, build a tree house over here, which I may still do at some point. Okay. And as you can see, I still have a quest with this character that has not been done. We're going to bypass that for a second. We're going to come over here to Lake Luma. This is the first character I built the home inside of the silver mine when I figured out that the shroud moves, because as you can see, this wall is inset, this wall is pushed outward, and it was because I was experiencing problems with the shroud moving through the house. And then this used to be where all of the silver was at. And then I covered that up. And then you come out here. And then this is how I would go to get out of here to go get the silver, whenever I need it. Not sure why my door is open though. So yes, you can build in the shroud in this particular cave, okay, in the Lake Luma area. All right. And then, yes, Desert Oasis Home. Alright, so this home is unchanged. This particular block right here does not exist with my newest character. So they actually left this in place, as well as that part there, because of the fact that I have a building on it. So I do have videos on these that you guys can go to. If you look up Lucy the Bold, there must be, oh yeah, so I'm missing a block there. Interesting. But I use this as a launching point to get around to a lot of the areas, and then over that way you can actually see my small floating city. I have a small floating city over there. I like this home. putting the cabinets into an arc like that takes a little bit of precision. It was definitely doable, and I loved the way it turned out. And then, of course, putting the small brazier in and then setting things down on top of it also make a huge impact on making it look like, you know, you're actually living here. And then this is what would be the family room. And I call this the mud room because, you know, you're coming in from outdoors, you know. So once again, though, it's sparsely decorated. This is my room. And then I have my master bath, probably one of my larger bathrooms. It's kind of fun going back through some of these places. And then upstairs here, this is where my friends would sleep when they come over. A couple chests here at this place in case if they got overloaded while we were out here in this area. All right, now moving onward. So we're going to start at Sky High Overview, and that's located over the inner sanctum. This is not as high as the one that my spouse built for me, which she was so nice for doing. Maybe it was for our 10th anniversary of being together. But anyways, I like this little place. It's actually cone shaped. I used, once I got to the altitude that I wanted, I used 3 flame shrines to build up a cone shaped like an ice cream cone. You know, so there's plenty of depth to this place. And, you know, then I built the house, and this was my first attempt of building a place that's more like a hobbit home. Let's go inside. And this is why I call it my hobbit home. Okay, this is the bathroom. Which I actually had this place before XYZ came along, so while I am here and you guys are here with me, I am going to fix that sink. Okay, let's see here. I'm going to get it turned first. And then slide it. My apologies. I have very slight tremors in my hands. Okay. Boom. Just like that. Alright, and then that way you can still... And I should take that block out underneath because that'll look better. Yeah, I think that looks a lot better like that. If I pull it forward, then it should make more sense. All right. Have it about right there. And just slightly in. Some blocks are better to use for counters than others, especially if you're wanting something to show through. Alright, so this is, again, my room. And then when I have company over to play on my worlds, this is what they would use. Alright, and then down below us is my other city. And I got a block there in the air that you can see. So it doesn't look as big, you know, when you're up high here flying over it. But this is actually a fairly decent size village. I mean, I have enough people here in villages. So we're going to come in for a landing. Alright, this is the barbershop. And I call this Mayor Pebbleton. You know, for lack of knowing what else to call it. This was my first attempt at building a crane. I think it actually turned out pretty good. Yeah. I got a little bit of inspiration from what Thomas plays on the crane, and then I also looked at several of the cranes that are stationed throughout the world, and then devised how I wanted my crane to look. Of course, this is the garden area. There used to be a tree right here that I took out because one of the gnomes got swallowed up with it when it grew to full size. But I have all of the survivors on this city. And then I have the assistants here on this city as well. And every home I've pretty much done a lot of detailing with. It's still got stuff to do. Whoops. Come on in. There you go. And then over here, the reason why I put the gate in is the hirelings cannot operate that gate. They only know how to use doors. So I built a bridge that goes across the gap, okay, and then comes out over here. And I put these trees in, and then that was the last thing I did with it. So unfortunately, I was not aware of how big these trees were going to get. I'm going to have to come back and thin them out a little bit. Can't see where I'm going. Help me. There we go. And then this is the first city that I started sending out gnomes for subscribers. And at this point is when my spouse was building her Sky City and started building the sports arena. And then now we put all of our new people into the sports arenas. So okay. And then yeah. So I know she's got stuff to talk to me about. I'm not going to talk to her right now. But this is her house. And then this is her workstation. I went ahead and put one of Crawley's machines in here, just so I could use it when I'm over here. And then we come over here. This is the hunter, the hunter's assistant. Okay, I have everything that I need for him. And then here is my alternate for the farmer. And he's got a visitor over here. Got corn in the oven. And then bedrooms. Then we come up this way. And then this is our carpenter in her home. And then straight across here in the center, we have a nice well with, table and cool, refreshing water. A couple of gnomes hanging out, drinking some water. This is the local bank with all of my storage vaults for over here. And then upstairs, I have, and Hugo is the one that lives here. And I'm not sure what he's doing in here. Alright, we'll go back outside here. This is where you will portal in on this world. And then this is my rose trellis. Initially, I had built the trellis just using the railings. The railings, however, you cannot attach flowers to. So I had to put blocks in and attach the roses to the blocks. And of course, we have our tribute to the Queen, as is customary. Okay. And then my palace. And then we have a big gazebo here. And then right over here is the blacksmith and her home. Okay. And then I did a special edition during fall festival time, which normally occurs, in the fall time of the year, throughout the United States. So I wanted to do a tribute to this. So I have a whole bunch of different vendors set up. And in my video, I took all of my hirelings, all of the survivors, and all of the assistants, and stationed them throughout here to make it look like an active festival. So you have your vegetable vendor, your meats and drinks, person doing baskets. We got a wizard over here selling wizard type books. We have somebody selling grains and foods, pet supplies. Another one selling his paintings. And then we have a knight who is selling safes, storage safes. And over here we have a mage selling potions and concoctions. And then this guy is selling accessories, possibly perfumes, inkwells, salt and pepper shakers, you can name it. And then this person who is sporting the lovely purple package, if you want anything gift wrapped while you're at the festival, And then we have our resident snow person. And then we have somebody selling plants. And then, of course, you have to have your protein vendors, because you're going to get hungry. And we have a mage selling wands and staffs. And then this person over here is selling bows. We need crossbows. We don't have any crossbows in this game, and I think that would be pretty cool looking. And then over here, we have an armorer selling maces and daggers and swords and shields. So, yeah, this was my tribute to Harvest Time in the United States. Okay, so let's go inside of my palace. Main doors are open. I'm guessing that is something from the initial update. I'm not sure. Gabriella. So Gabriella lives here inside of the home with me, as well as Hannah and her mother. But, oh, she's the one that opens the doors. Okay. Yep, there's Hannah and her daughter. And then we have grass growing through the floor. Okay, here's my kitchen. And this was done before XYZ. So you can see I actually have plates and bowls underneath that I used to lift and raise things up so the countertops would be equal. Okay, and then we can come back here, and then this would be some of the palace guards hangout. Of course, they have their own bathroom. Assortment of weapons to choose from. This goes downstairs, and we have the ability of manufacturing our own metals and tools and equipment. And then this goes outside, and then if you go through these doors here, that's the edge of the property line of how big the flame altar is. And if you go upstairs, this is the back way up to my bedroom. So this is my master bedroom. And then I put the safe door in, my personal vault. And then there's all of my, gold and silver, platinums, you name it. All the valuables are there. And then here's another bathroom that I did. Alright, this place is actually pretty big. This is for when people come to my world. Of course, this room is seriously unfinished, as is most of them here. That goes upstairs, which we'll go up there here in a minute. This is their room, Hannah and her daughter.
Hey.
Hi. And then Mi Yin, when I bring her over here, this is where I assign her to. And then this is Gabriella's room. central fireplace. Alright, so we go over here, we go upstairs, and then this is going to be the trophy room when I finish it. Alright, so that is this world with this character. So now let me go back and we'll change. And we will get Lucy. And let me edit her world timeline to make sure. Daytime, nighttime. Daytime is 1 hour. Okay, nighttime is. Alright, excellent. Okay. Alrighty. This is my mountain villa home. And Lucy is my mage. So this is my basement area. Okay. It's got a bathroom in here. And you can see I used a cup and turned it sideways using XYZ to make toilet paper holder. And then this is one of the shields that you can make. This is storage room over here. Let me shut that door and shut that door. Alright, and then we have the coloring station in here. And then I put a chest in underneath the coloring station because at this time the coloring station does not pull ingredients from the chest, but it's also a good place for me to keep the colors at. Alright, we'll go upstairs. This is my first floor. I took the mosaic and put it up on the ceiling. And was a little creative, put some bellows here by the fireplace because, you know, what's a fireplace without bellows? There's my kitchen. Homemade bar. And we go upstairs here. This is the bedroom. Alright, got two ways to get out of my home. This comes out onto a patio. Right here where I can sit down, stay warm. And then here's my main entrance to my home. And then this doorway was put in using XYZ at a tilt. That is also something that the hirelings cannot open because it's tilted, or at least none of mine have been able to. Alright, if we go up here, Hugo just came out here. Hugo and the collector live together up here in this space. And then we have a soul burning inside of the sarcophagus. That was my Halloween dark humor. The tributary to the Queen, where offerings and tithings are given as you come into the city. And then Gabriella is in here. Yeah, there she is. They're playing. Apparently they're bouncing up and down on the beds. Alright, so let's go out this way. Love the sound of the doors as they go up and down. And then I have my farm. So my bunny rabbits are over here. And then my oxen. And then over here I have my chickens. And then my armadillos. And then lastly, which somehow they got through the fence. Alright. I don't know how they get out all the time. I guess they're just special. Special birds. Alright, and then up this way. And then I don't have my goats over here. They're on the other side. But this is totally surrounded by real live size barracks, walls, and goes all the way over to the other side. And then down here we have a secret exit. One of the reasons why I picked this area is because you can hit the updraft. And there's an updraft on both sides of my fortress. And on the map, so this is my Mountain Villa home. This is Bellfire Garrison Silkfrost. I also have a Knight Sanctum right here beside me. And then I have Bellfire Garrison Rimrock. So we can come through here. And then this is a secret entrance and exit. And hot tar to be poured over anybody coming through the doors. How did that bird get up here? That's crazy. Oh well. If he falls off, he falls off. Another fortification area. Excellent. I understand from my moderator I have 4 people watching, so thank you very much. And then this is one of my prize builds. I love this build. It took a long time, a lot of thinking to do it. Because this was not here. But I built this water wheel. And I do have a video on how to build a full-size water wheel in case if you're interested. Now you can see. And then you come inside, and I have all my grains and stuff, and then down here is the mechanical portion. So that leads outside to the mill, and then you would put your grains in here and push this lever here, and then that would turn the mechanism on, and it would grind your grains into flour or sugar or whatever it is that you were using it for. Okay, then we come out this way, and you can see this is how it's powered. Whoops. Water comes out of the mountain, comes over here, and falls down onto that. And then we have an archery area, training grounds. This was all here initially. And then there was a skeletal person over here, and I just covered him up with the flowers. This is another hireling's home. And then my gardens. And then this is the barber shop, which I have to go get more of the wigs because there are actually 4 wigs. Initially, we thought that there was only 3. And then my farmer lives up here. And I have this nice little place here for the hunter.
Hello.
And then outside here, this is where my goats are at. I don't know if I have food or not, but they need food. There we go. These guys have food. Okay. Oh, come on. Any other time I could jump up there. There we go. And then I put the dragon's flame shrine up here with the oil, so you can feel the fire. This town is a little bit different. All my homes actually have fireplaces, and at nighttime you can see, like, if you're, let me use my bow, you can see, the smoke coming up out of several of these homes. But yeah, I really like this place. This took a couple months of playtime for me to get it built to the way I wanted it. Carving it out. And then each set of the gates has the stone soldiers. So I am well fortified. I don't think anybody's going to be busting down my door. Ooh, what do we got over here in the basket? Ah, sugar cane and tomatoes were picked recently. Alright, so that is this place. Okay, and then Oh, coal deposit, silver mine. I don't know that I have a house. I don't remember if I have a house built in the silver mine area for this character. I may not. No, I do not. Yeah, not yet, I don't. Okay. That'll be an upcoming video. Yes, and this is this way to collect stuff because you can get the Kala Luna flowers here, and then if you just go over here, you know where the mountains are at, you can get the ones that grow in the Albany summits, and you don't have to worry about eating foods because you're not taking frost damage. And then if you go up into the hillside a little bit, you'll find coal and amethyst and stuff like that. So it's a great place. They have a little jump off point. Jump point to Surat's Cinder Vault. Alright, and then I built this. This was actually kind of a fun build. So there's a bedroom here, bathroom, and I have a reason for my build here. Okay, this is my kitchen. I'm still not done working on it yet. And then this doorway goes into my own personal flint mine. And this is about where the flame shrine stops. So all that flint there reforms. And then this goes outside. I have my own personal deck. You can see all that nice flint there. And then I come up here to get all of the midnight lilies. And then this deck actually wraps all the way around on 3 sides of the home. Like so. And then I'm still missing some railings here. Alright, so that is it for this character. This is all of the homes that this character has. So let's bring in my next one.
There's 55 minutes.
Okay. So we're going to bring in Ravenblade. Gotta make sure Ravenblade's world is set up daytime, nighttime. All right, and we are coming up on the top of the hour. And what I say is, been recording for 55 minutes. So what I'm going to do is we're going to take a 5-minute break and then come back, and then we'll go through an actual tree house that was built inside of the tree. All right, welcome back. So hopefully everybody had a chance to get some drinks, use the bathroom, get some snackage. So the first hour of the build, I went over two of my characters. What I'm doing is I'm bringing in each one of my characters and I'm showcasing their homes that I've built. So currently we are at Raven's Nest. Raven's Nest is located up here in the Blackmire on top of this tree right here, which on the map doesn't look big, but this place is big. It's huge, actually. Okay, so this is the main login point. I think maybe a month or two ago, I revamped this entire area to make it more spacious and more friendly looking to my NPCs. So we got Crowley here, and then Crowley's got his own room right here. And then the carpenter has his, and then the blacksmith, and then this is where they all hang out, do all their cooking. Of course, being guys, they love having meat, and pie. So we got the stove going, the oven's going. There's a ham in the oven. We got vegetables in the basket because you have to have your vegetables occasionally. And then over here's their bathroom. All right, and then we have our resident, which I had to make a special opening just for him and then lower his platform down into the flooring. So what we're going to do is we're going to go out to the front of this place so you can see it. All right, so this is where my property line starts at, and then you can see I actually have some Ewoks that live right beside me. They've never come over to visit, but they're there. So I use all of this space for planting and stuff, trees. I've got a barn over here. And then this tree actually grew into this platform. The tree wasn't there. I planted it, and then it overtook. I mean, there's 3 pumpkins up there. One of them's inside of the tree. Nice thing I like about this place is I have my own copper mine. And it goes back in quite a ways. I also have my own clay mine as well. Okay, dokie. So we have the queen over here. And then we have my little personal garden. Set up. And then I have a little outdoor gazebo down here on the ground floor. Alright, so let's go into the main door, which is open. And then you can see my subscribe button or sign up there. And then when you look up, you can see how high up this tree is. And then I actually have my own ship up there. Right there. And we'll go into that when we go inside. Alright, let's close the door. So this is the grand foyer. Okay. Where all of my subjects will come to see me when I'm here at this place. This is also the character that I used to make the fort, the castle and fort up in the summit, which we'll go see. But this is my trophy room for this character. And to put the weapon sets down.
Sylvian says well.
Huh?
Sylvian said well.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Sylvian. And then, you know, when you have conferences and stuff like that, you know, you come out here, sit at the table. So, yep, I like this room. One of the few times I use the well blocks. I do like the well blocks. Don't get me wrong. I do like them. I just don't use them very often. Alright, and then we have 3 dragons. 1, 2, and 3. Alright, we come up to the first floor. This is my personal study. And then I turned this, my bard lives here. And then of course you can see all of the weapons, the daggers, because, you know, bards, espionage, all that good stuff. Instruments are laid out, instruments on the shelves. And then, alright, so this is a secret door. There we go. Alright, and then we would come over here, unload after doing our missions. And then here's a little private area to relax and reflect. And here we have the Huntress. This is her home. And then over here, we have the Alchemist with all of his magical books floating everywhere. Alright, come upstairs here. We have another sitting area. And then this is a little area where you can plant flowers at and stuff and pick fresh flowers to put on the tables. Alright, here's the main kitchen. I have a whole section of wall that is missing. That's crazy. I'll have to fix it. I'm not going to fix it right now, but that is super crazy. Huh, okay. Yeah. Crazy things happen in this game. We'll close that door. Okay, and then here's my room. And then I have my own little patio. And this is a emergency escape route. It goes down several flights of stairs and then out through that door, so you can escape if you're being pursued. Come on, Dougie. Come on. Yep, get out of there. And then Emily sleeps in this bed over here. And then I updated this bathroom in one of my latest videos. Alright, so now we'll go upstairs. Sorry, I have to get a drink of water.
Sylvian fight to hide out the motherboard creating that.
Yes. Yeah, that's for sure. Okay, now we come up here. So I have a treehouse swimming pool. I'm like the Beverly Hillbillies. I got my own pool inside of my house. And then I use the statues as braces over this window. I also have a hot tub with pitchers that have water pouring out, and then of course there's somebody sitting in the hot tub enjoying a spot of tea. I have my own masseuse over here where I can come and get a massage. Okay, and then this is actually a dedication to my two favorite hairstylists in Texas. And I have a video on this as well. And this is where I have our newest hairstylist, but I don't have his station set up yet. Alright, going upstairs from here, we have apartments. This is where I put all of my survivors at, and each room has fully functioning. Some rooms are bigger than others. Some of them have their own balconies. You know, some have full-size bathrooms, some don't. Just like you would see in an apartment or a motel, you know. Yeah, got some unfinished windows. Alright, next floor up is my department store, which I'm missing a couple things. And then here's the store manager, who can oversee everything that's going on. I have more things that I can sit there and put in here to sell. And the bathrooms for the department store. Okay, upstairs. This opens up into the restaurant called Cheers. And it's my interpretation of the television series. Shout out to Shelley Long. So, bunch of sitting areas. Everybody's happy. This is the schedule board for the airship. And here's my airship, which is fully equipped. Ticket taker. And then he directs you to your seats. And then we have this gentleman loading flask and barrels and stuff. And you come up here. And then, of course, we have the captain's quarters and the dining room. And up top side, there's also a crow's nest that you can climb up into. This is the navigator or pilot. Okay, going up another level. I was actually inspired to do this build after seeing what Chisel Chip was working on. And it just keeps growing, you know. This is another room. I have no idea what I'm going to do with it. Something will come up, or somebody will give me a suggestion, and then I'll end up building it. Thank you.
Sylvian says, I remember you asking for advice
Mm-hmm.
on this floor.
Yes. All right, and this is Mi Yin's huge studio, which I will eventually get her completely equipped. And by the way, this is my dagger build. She can rock and stomp with the best. Alright, we'll go up to this level. Apparently I'm still sticking windows in, or I had two disappear. One of the two. Probably still sticking windows in. Alright, and then I like this part out here. I decided I needed another gazebo. Like I don't have enough to begin with. Between gazebos and patios and stuff. Alright, another floor that I need ideas for. And then we come up. Yep, they're going to be quarters. Yeah, probably. And then this goes up to Yavin 4. So this is my overlook. This is as high as I can, well, as I can get, because that's the crown of the tree right there. So, yeah, I actually was able to build and get all the way to the top of this tree. Okay, so my next, this one that we're going to was my very first home on this world. This was called the Raven's Mansion. Had all my workstations inside.
He says that it's beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Okay, I have a floating cup. I don't know why I have a cup floating there.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I have the. Oh yeah, okay. I got the full setup for the bathroom. All right. And then this is really pretty at nighttime. I like the view. My initial gardens. And then back this way, and a lot of times there's actually two wild boars that come out and appear over here. They're not always here. But this is as far as my property line goes. And there is another purpose to being over here. So I have that mine right there. And then just over the edge over here. If you were to fly down to the lower part of the ground, there is actually a place right here that has a bunch of skeletons and stuff in it, but it also has shroud wood, and it's not in the shroud. Hi. Of course, the starter home that everybody usually makes. We'll head over to that. And it's just a simple starter home, nothing big. Okay, let's see here. We'll go over to my dust bowl. You start seeing the bird terminology. I actually had hirelings, survivors stationed in all of these places. All right. So this one, you can see, I did not do that, but they cut all the way around it. All right, so now let's go up to the big build. The big build, Dragon Castle. It's not Raven's Castle, it's Dragon Castle. Okay, outside of my treehouse, I think this is probably the largest build. So I think the easiest way to do this is going to be to start at the top and work downwards. But here's my throne. And then here's the royal court in session. Nice little cozy seating area. Okay. The hirelings never used to be able to navigate these benches as stair steps, but they can do so now.
She loves your treehouse and castle.
Thank you, Sylvan. All right. This is my library. Oh, Hannah's up here. Okay. Now, to display the headpieces, you literally have to take a mannequin and use XYZ and stick them inside at an angle. That way the headpiece shows, but the mannequin does not show through the bookshelf. Alright, so that's the library. Because what castle doesn't have a library? Alright, this is where some of the survivors in the castle live. This is the master bathroom on this level. And then I believe this is unassigned. Yes. Nice thing is if I ever decided to open my world to let people come on to play, there would be plenty of sleeping rooms. Alright, so this is my bedroom. And then what I did for the desk is I used the shelf, I put the shelf in first, and then I used the lower cabinets that you would find in the kitchen and put one on either side of it. Then that way I have, this type of desk set up. This is my personal bathroom. Got my oils, incense, perfumes, body washes. Now I do still get, even though my walls are 2 layers thick, I still get the blow through sometimes, which is kind of odd. Oh. Man, these guys just get around everywhere. And another repeat room over here. Okay. All right, now this is the dining room. All set for the grand feast. In and outdoors. And castle style kitchen. Even has its own well inside. And then we have a little private garden out here. Oh wow, that sign is old. 1480. I'm at 1710 right now for subscribers. Okie dokie. So these doors come out to another patio area that loops around this level of the castle. Kind of an illusion. It wasn't the initial entry to the castle. Let's put it that way. And then I liked the idea or concept of this being a very rough, rugged, workstation, workplace. And then the guys that are assigned to here all live up here. And as you can see, they all have free range of the place. Alright, we have a couple of ways to get off this level. So we're going to go down this way. Alright. And then we're going to go up this set of steps first. Alright, so this is the armory. This is the headquarters for the soldiers. And the captain of the guard. What's the what now?
What is the floor block in your workshop? What is the floor you need from me?
Oh, the flooring in the workshop. Yeah. Do I have any of it?
Just use your mallet and pick up a piece.
Well, I gotta go back up to it.
You can just break it out with your
Yeah, I'm going to.
Hey!
It's the fancy stone block. So that one there. And I like that. I mean, it looks great because it's like wood shavings all over the flooring. You know, it looks like what you would see, you know, in a ancient castle floor. I was almost tempted to use that throughout the castle. Okie dokie. My hirelings get around in this place, I tell you. So we have cooking stations for them, and then over here we have a very large multi-toileted, multi-shower, multi-tub bathroom for all of the soldiers. And then we can come out this way and come down. And this man, he's been so bad, he's actually overhanging a pit.
She says yes, it is stinky on the floor.
Yeah. And then this is the prison inside of the castle. This is the intake officer. And then room for storage of clothing and personnel and stuff like that. And then we got a few people in here. I should put him inside of one. He gets around too much. And then, of course, these doors are open. And this guy here probably picking up the waste product. So, I guess it would be the equivalent of being on work release. Okay. So now, we're going to take a shortcut. Boom. Because we came up that one. So now we're going to go down. This is the crypts, and there is an entryway up here at the top from the castle to get down to the crypts through that door there. And then this opens up. If I wanted to put a door in here, this opens up to the prison. Alright, so this is the crypt, and this is this stone is the weathered stone block. That one right there. And it literally every so often puts out bones. So I thought it was very appropriate for the crypt. We have either a resting soldier playing hooky, or he's getting ready to be put into the crematorium. And then, of course, these vases are the remains of people who have been cremated. Of course, you would have the former king, you know, and then probably the queen and offspring. And then this is the former royal captain of the guard. and then probably prestigious members of the court. And then another way to get back up into the castle and to go over to another area. Alright, so from here, we are going to go down these stairs, and Sylvia Dryad's going to recognize this area. This is her right here. She was like my 5th or 6th subscriber. So, yep. But this is, and I think I was probably the very first person to ever make a underground park. I know the underground park has been done by a couple other people and currently being done by some other people at this point. But I think I was the very first one to monopolize that concept. All right. So now, and everybody in here, as far as mannequin-wise, is a subscriber. And then it goes down even further, but I haven't done anything.
She says she loves it, thank you.
You're welcome. I haven't really done anything more down here other than to this spot. I put in, some stairs and stuff. Let's go back up and around the outside of this place. Alright, so there's Mr. Dragon, who's not very happy because, his head has been mounted on the outside of my castle. Here's the entrance to the castle's first guardhouse. And then, of course, we have tribute to the Queen. A couple different directions we can go. And yes, the trophy extraordinaire. Alright, and then we go over this way. I said this place is huge. Instead of running all the way out and around, I am just going to jump. Alright, so we got people keeping snow off the roofs and stuff. This is the other way that you would come up from the main entrance. And then we have a lighthouse tower over here. We even have a couple people sleeping. Oops. Got myself turned around. Alright. Come down these stairs. And I like the placement of the blocks and stuff with the illumination. And then we have the farm. Oh my goodness, poor animals. Might as well make sure everybody's got food. And the workshop for the farm. All my straw and hay and stuff. And then of course I have another lift to bring things up. And my chickens. Now obviously there are animals that I don't have over here. I don't want to upgrade him. I like the little animals. All right, so that is pretty much it for this character and all of her homes. So we'll change. And then Yolanda. Yolanda is my very, very first ever character in this game. So I've showcased this place before on several videos. I recently stole some chest from this place to take over to Yami's world. He's a hothead. See, he's got a flame in his head. And he's got...
What is your favorite character?
I'm going to say Yolanda is. She's my heavy-hitting fighter. So...
What's your favorite build?
I'm going to say it's the fighter. Because I have two fighters now.
No. Build.
Oh, my favorite... Oh, my goodness. Wow. My favorite build. Oh, my goodness. I would say it was probably Dragon Castle. Yeah, definitely. Dragon Castle. You can see there's a skull inside of his mouth. And then he's got a serious case of indigestion. That's a small brazier that I lifted up into him. Don't do that. You're going to break things. And then everybody has their own little house down here in the basement. We have a nice little bar. It's the main kitchen. First floor bathroom.
Color yes.
Yes. Got a kitty cat stuck in the bookcase. Why won't you come out of there? Crazy cat. And then this is her throne. And the bard lives here. And then Emily's room. And then going upstairs, this is the dining room for the servants, as well as a small library for them and a seating area. And they have their own bathroom through that door. Mi Yin's place, and she has her own patio. Spare bedroom. And the barber. And then, of course, my trophy room. And then going upstairs. How many dragons have dangly earrings? And if you can see, he's got a pilot light. There's a little candle inside of his mouth. That's how he lights his fires. This is the upstairs bathroom. Now, this cabinet countertop has a glow block underneath each one of these windows. And then my personal dining room. This is done with the circular doors, and then the bookcases are recessed. Private kitchen. And then my room, with all of my implements of war.
Does it glow at nighttime?
Yes, in the bathroom, yes, they do. Personal balcony. Alright, now we will go downstairs and go outside. And then when my friends come over to this world, they sleep in this room. Or one can sleep in that room and one can sleep in this one. Okay, we'll go out the main doors. So this home I have rebuilt, added to, probably about 4 or 5 times until I got this mansion built. And then I have a royal garden. And this is really pretty at nighttime when the world is set to nighttime to walk through here. I could see myself living here in real life in a place like this. All right, we'll start over here on this side. Little extension of the gardens. And we'll shut these doors. All right. So this is my holiday setting. My spouse and I were actually the very first people to ever create Christmas trees in the game of Enshrouded. I left mine up. And yes, that's a mannequin at the very top holding a candle. Yes. I like my snowman. I think he's cool. Elf bowling. Yes, my spouse likes elf bowling. And this is my choir. And then all the Christmas packages. I had to leave this up year round. Christmas is my favorite time of the year. So, of course, the square down there is the bowling ball, and yeah, I think Elf Bowling was one of the first games I ever played, and if I'm not mistaken, I think it was on a floppy disk. Do what? My ancientness is showing. Yeah. And yes, I got to update this sign too. It's at 1550 plus. Yes, you can grow trees on the side. I have proven that by doing this. This was an experiment to see if what I could grow on a wall. Because I wanted, at one point, and I don't remember where I was going to do it at, I was going to do a land bridge made out of trees. So this is where the home is for all of my survivors again. Yes. Oh, you mean cosmetic outfit like what I'm wearing now? Or probably the Mountain Shadow set. And then I have 2 rings of the Ancients equipped to this person. And then my cosmetics, that is the Flame Pact. And this is, if you have the ones, they have the little diamond on them that you can color. Because if the cosmetics don't have the diamonds, you can't color them. Don't know why. Yep. And then you can see this is the village area. And then this is the farmer's house. Oh, these guys need some food. I'll have to make more food later. Crazy animals. All right, now what I did was, in possibly gross, I don't know, but I grew up on a farm. Okay, we had cows, we had pigs, we had chickens, we even had a couple horses. All right, there is always droppings everywhere. So what I did is I put like 3 or 4 hazelnut trees out here and let them grow. And then I cut them down. And when you cut them down, they drop the hazelnuts. Well, you can use your imagination as to what the hazelnuts are supposed to represent. And then this is the farmer's house.
Hello.
Hello there. Let's see here. This character has another home up here. This is in the biggest tree in the Blackmire Forest. So it's literally located above the quest chain for the drum for the bard. That's how high up I am that I was able to build in this tree. Now, I have taken quite a bit of things out of here. I just need to put them back in. My humor at the fact that you're so high up in the tree, no one would know that you're taking a shower or using the facilities. And then originally I was going to put more homes in up here because these branches are just huge. All right. Yes, it is actually. Yeah. As soon as I materialize, let me go to it here and see. Oh, okay. So that is tinted. Well, it's the 3 shades of green. It doesn't say what it is. It just gives a picture. It's 3 shades of green. And then the gloves and the boots are the 3 different shades of the, I don't know, brown color. So I would literally have to go to the cosmetics, which I can here in a moment. So this is one of my other homes. Hmm? Oh, awesome!
Well, she didn't say that, but I'm guessing.
Okay.
Should ask her.
So are you making a mannequin of me to put onto your world? Okay, and then I think this character has a home in the silver mine. Yes, I do. Alright, so this was the largest home I was able to build in the Shroud by just taking my time waiting for the ebb and tide of the Shroud to move.
She laughed.
Because it flows. It's really weird. It's the craziest thing, but it flows.
She said you will have to see.
I'll have to see. Okay, awesome. I'm looking forward to it. Let's see here. Let's go back here, and then I can tell you what colors. Where did I? Oh, yeah, it's here.
It's classified.
It's classified information. I love it. Okay, let's see here. So it's verily verdant. Verdant is the color on the pants and the top. And then the Harvest Festival for the gloves and the boots. Yeah. All right, and this is an excellent spot to sit there and stop. When we come back, I have two more characters. My last two, I promise. So we'll cover them in their homesteads when I come back from taking a 3 to 5 minute break. Thank you, everybody who has been able to stay on and watch up to this point. Like I said, look up Lucy the Bold to see my videos. All right, welcome back, everybody. So this is Lucy the Bold, and we are in the beginning of the third hour. So what I have been doing up to this point is showcasing the homes of each one of my characters. So I just got done showing off Yolanda's homes. So we are going to pull in my next character. Okay, so we've had Yolanda, we've had Ravenblade. Did I do Lucy the Bold? I think so. Maybe not. Oh, that's right. This is actually my mage. She doesn't have her own world anymore. I consolidated it with Yolanda's world. So we'll skip over her. So we've done Pebbles. We've done Ravenblade, Yolanda. Okay, and then my newest one, Yami. So I've been kind of jokingly saying that my, oh, excuse me, my flying or floating city, as it was, is my anniversary gift from my spouse. Excuse me. Oh, got the burps. All right. We'll come back. We'll finish up with this build here, but I want to go over to Moonbase 1 Eagle 2. Does anybody have any ideas what famous sci-fi TV show Moonbase 1 to Eagle 2 is from? All right, so my spouse built this. We are literally 40 flame shrines, stage 1 flame shrines from the surface down below. That's how high up this is. Let's see here. What was I going to do with the carpet? I don't know if it was for this place or not. Oh well. We are putting it down. So we are above the tallest hillside in the Umber Hollow, which is next to the Inner Sanctum Pillars of Creation area. So this is the character that I've been playing a lot with ever since Update 6 came out, because whenever they make a new update, your current existing world that you have, they do change, but homes and stuff, you know, your homesteads can interfere with some of the updates and stuff. So I always like to have a new character with each update. So anyways, that's where I am at. And my inventory. Oh yes, that's right, because the other day when I was in the game, I went out and I got the round-billed sailor birds. Now, personally, this is just me being a geek on archaeology, and stuff, but they look like dodo birds. So, I'm fairly certain they are a dodo bird. So yesterday, or the last time I was on and I was live streaming, I built my bathroom in here. I still got to get the sink in, but I made this toilet and turned the shower around so it's facing towards the wall, and then that way, and this was actually my spouse's suggestion to make it look like those antique 1940, 1950 style toilets.
So she knows what it's from.
Excellent! Yay! Somebody else would like me. And then I'm going to put a roof on the top of this, and then, Do what? Oh, my moderator was talking to me. I think she was mocking me because being a Hoosier from birth, I say words differently. But anyways, so it is what it is. But yeah, this is my birthday present, or not my birthday present, my anniversary present from my spouse for putting up with me for 10 plus years, 10 years of marriage, 17 total years of being together. And the world still has not exploded.
She said the birds remind her of dodo birds too.
Yes, yep, they do. The other thing I was noticing, and I commented on this the other day, is being up this high. Because when you're down on the ground, you don't see this world as being flat. But it's a flat world. And I was thinking and wondering if the devs and developers of this game are going to eventually make it a round world. Because some games, and I'm going to use Minecraft.
She says she's going to be a glorified 6 this year.
Awesome, yay! But in Minecraft, the world is actually circular. My spouse, being in the electronic gaming industry, and I explored it, and we literally set off south and just kept travel, and we ended back up, coming full circle around. So, that is a circular world, where this one's a flat one. Anyhow, do I have another place? Yes, the Kala Luna Palooza. This one I just kind of slapped together. It's just a little quick jump point over here around this tree. And then this way, I can get to quite a few things over here in this area. I built this, and you can actually see, it's so high up in the air, you can actually see the base over there. I think that's pretty cool. All right, so the only other place that I have developed, and we'll start over at the farm. Because my farmhouse attaches to the treehouse through the Roman Aqueduct Bridge. Alright, so this is my farmhouse with all of my animals in it.
Hello.
And he's the caretaker of the farmhouse. And then I use the post because I like the rugged look, and then I use them as the main supports in here. Let me out. Alright, still gotta get a door put on this place. Where is the cat? Let me guess, the cat fell off the planet. Interesting. So I have a cat that has gone AWOL. Well, okay. Anyways, I had to put in a little bridge coming down here, and I finally got the aqueduct filled from one end to the other with ice, which is supposed to represent my water, and then this is where it comes out of the mountain at. Okay. I've got some trees planted over there, some shrubs, corn, stuff like that. And then some more trees planted up here. I'm hoping I'll see the cat at some point. I'm hoping it didn't fall over the side, fall off the place. I have put in several requests that farm animals and pets return to their beds or to their food dishes if they get a certain distance away. All right, so this is my bridge. Initially, it was the bridge to nowhere. I have a doggy coming out here to see me. Aw, that's sweet. Oh, he stays with Gabriella, or he's over because Gabriella's got a pet dog, and then the hairstylist has a pet. Oh, yep. This is his place. Okay. All right, and then this is the barber's dog. So they each got their own dog. I still got to get one more cat, and then I'll probably put the other cat over here with them. Or maybe I'll give the cat to the farmer. Now, how did she get down here? See, you'd think if you have something like this that they couldn't get stuck in there like that. But what do I know? Yeah. Yep. It's kind of nice to have all of the survivors and hirelings just out meandering. Makes it look more lively. I am. I think it's going to be interesting when they do the next update because there's several things that are going to happen. Number one is on the maps. If I wanted to create a marker, I'll have more choices and I'll actually be able to label what's there instead of just putting like a green leaf on something or this type of marker. I can actually write on it what it is. One of the other things that they're going to bring in, and they're supposed to be doing some tweaks to the survivors and the assistants and stuff like this, but if you sit down at your base to play your musical instrument, your NPCs will pull one out apparently and play. Was kind of my take on it, or maybe it's just a bard. I don't know. Let's see. There was a couple other things that I was thinking that I wanted to mention to you guys as well. They don't have assignments yet for the hirelings, the survivors. So that's still in the works. They were talking about, they're still talking about bringing in water. They're going to have a hollowed halls that's actually in the water.
She likes it when they call out to her because she usually plays solo.
Oh, nice. Yes.
Makes her feel like she has company.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Yes, because you can see the bard right now. She sits down and she pulls out the lute, but she doesn't actually play it. But it would be kind of cool, to have a jam session with your NPCs. Now, would that increase, your rested bonus? Like it would if you had 2 or 3 people playing with you? I don't know. We'll have to see. There's going to be some new food items that are going to come out, as well as some more farm animals. So that'll be nice. One of the things I did is I wanted to expand my kitchen a little bit because it was a little cramped in here. Hello. I think one of these episodes that I do that's coming up, I am actually going to go get every one of the pieces for this thing so you guys can all see where each one of the mosaics is located at. So that's up and coming for me. Yes, and a broadcast with Sylvian. So there was something else that they were going to be bringing into the game, and I don't remember what it is. for the next update. Not like update 7, but just for an update that'll come along with the food and the animal. Because like I said, I know that they're still working on I guess maybe the practicality of water in the world. I suspect the water is only going to be in certain locations and not something where we could take a bucket of it, scoop it up, and then put it into a pond. Because I could go up to my floating city and pour the bucket of water over the side, and it would just keep flowing, and eventually it would fill up Upper Hollow. So they'll have to put some type of limitations on water. Alright, so the roof is almost complete. I'm going to go ahead and leave the stone that is exposed there, but I came back in with the wildflowers and put them down.
She loves how you create grayouts in all your builds.
Oh, thank you. I try to do creative things. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. So yeah, I think that's it. I don't have anybody else to bring in. So, let's see here. Do we have a quest close by that needs to be done? Really? I've already gathered wool. I got yaks. Why do I have this quest?
Because you have to make the bait.
Okay.
Make the bait and have to go to a very specific location.
Have to make the bait and go to a very specific location. Alright. Goodness. I think I got bait that I made. Well, just in case. Alright, Emily, you're a pain in my butt, but, yak bait. Okay, we got yak bait. Gathering wool, quest update. Show on the map.
So you have to go to a very specific location in the Albany Summits.
Yep.
And you have to go to that.
Yes, it's blinking on my...
Well, no, I'm saying even if you have the axe, you still have to go there.
Yeah, set as my waypoint.
It's really stupid.
Alright, we'll go up to Dragon Peak.
That's where they do the giant.
Oh, yes. The quiet cave where the giant's at. That's weird.
You might as well kill it anyway.
Yep. I'll get my murdering on. Oh, Lordy. Am I pointed in the right direction? Yes, I am. I think it's over this other side here. Yep, there we go. It's showing up right down here. Yes, that's the cave right there. So we'll zoom out. Alright, let's get some yak food down here. Let's be very, very quiet. I feel like I'm in a Bugs Bunny cartoon. Okay, I got another piece of food here. Might as well get one more. Even though I already have them. Pet, 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 pet. You're not supposed to be following me. No, don't follow me. I hit him in the nose with the food. Well, go over to your food, dingus. Alright, excellent. Let me put my potion back over here. Get out my beaten stick. And we'll go say hi to a giant. And that be how it's done. I'll take the extra arm. I don't need the extra arm, but I will take it. Ew. Not very good. Okay, do we have anything else up here? Rumble in the Catacombs. Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay. That's a good one to do. Bramble Spine Boneyard. Alright. We will fly from Moon Base 1, Eagle 2. I probably didn't need to hit updraft. High enough up in the air as it is. Oh no, I'm out of liquid refreshment already. We're flying over, or what is it that captains in airplanes say? If you look out the right-hand window, you will see that we are currently flying over the top of the state capitol. I didn't think it was this close to the portal. What do we got here? Beast beneath the soil. All right. Why does this not look familiar to me? Locked. Alright, nothing over there. I hear monsters. These guys are one-hit wonders. Okay, what's over here on this side? Right, there's the door there. Oh, man. I suspect I'm supposed to go upstairs first. Yay, I like those. Prayer of the Flame Scrolls. Those are excellent when you're doing battle with anything big. You know, because they boost your damage. Oh, I see a beverage. Whoa, 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 I almost fell down the hole. That probably unlocks that other door. It's an explodey barrel. Ow. I was standing too close. Ooh, more explodey barrels. Oh, I see. Gem of Hopeful Embers. It's interesting how they put those things in sometimes now, those eyeballs or eye stalkers. Could it be any more dark and gloomy? I think there's a door up there. Huh? Okay. I love how they just willy-nilly put explosives all over the place. Interesting. We got 2 doors. Oops. I thought that was an exploding barrel. Hope this chest doesn't break. Ah, the weathered stone block. So that was the other door then. Alright, did this quest complete then? Yes, it did complete. Okay. Let me check the map just to make sure. Yep. Okay, it's completed. Alrighty, now I just gotta find my way out of here. Is that? No, okay, I already looked at that. Oh, this must be the way I came in. It's kind of confusing. Alright, looks like I got everything. Alright, how do we get out? It's actually behind us. But it may be, I don't know. I'm suspecting that that's not high enough. Oh yes, and I don't have anything to activate that with. Let's try cutting our way upwards. Yay, out of the shroud. Okay, excellent. Alright, let me go back to my home base. Alright, Emily is ready to talk to me.
What a nice surprise.
Yes, we should. Which is funny, because I already had yak beds, yak feeder, yak foods. So, I don't know. All right. Yeah, I don't have anything more to do at this point, so I think this is going to be a good spot to stop for the day. Not running until 5. I thought I had more stuff to do, more stuff planned to do at this point, but I don't. So I am going to stop, and then this coming Wednesday, I will be doing Tainted Grail, The Fall of Avalon, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time until roughly 9 or 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. So if you're interested in that game, it is a lot of fun. It is very deadly compared to Enshrouded. But yeah, it's also very interesting to do. They've made a lot of improvements in it since I originally started playing it. And then this coming Friday is July 4th. I will forego doing a recording on July 4th because of it being, the national holiday. That way we can either go see fireworks or watch fireworks on TV. So anyways, thank you everyone who has been online or been in to play. And let me see. Yeah. All right. Sorry about that, Sylvia. I just got back to reading my messages in the chat stream. So, yep. We are definitely hunting rabbits. Elmer Fudd. All right. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Have an awesome day.